Hello, Shameless Writers. I'm Kristen McTiernan, the nonsense-free editor, here for your regular dose of writing wisdom. For many aspiring writers, the goal is to ultimately write full-time, meaning you make a full-time income from your writing. The question then becomes, how do you account for that income as far as the tax man is concerned? If you're a writer, should you incorporate or just keep it as part of your normal money? Before we talk about that, a quick word from our sponsor. It's me. I'm the sponsor.
Are you ready to write your book, but feel overwhelmed by the process? My new nonsense-free novelists community was created just for you. You can join for free and get a Facebook experience without ads or upsetting content. You can talk to fellow authors in your genre, whether fiction or nonfiction, gaining inspiration and, of course, nonsense-free advice directly from me. Then, give your writing a boost with premium access in my Go-Getters group for $7.99 per month. There, you'll have access to discounts on editing services, personalized guidance, professional critiques of your writing, and more. Classes are coming so you can supercharge your writing skills while you build a community of like-minded writers. Join the nonsense-free novelists community of writers today.
When I first started making money from my side gig, I filed my editing income as part of my personal taxes. But then in 2015, I incorporated as Kristen McTiernan, LLC, imagining at the time that my book money would be the major source of my side revenue. But as I stated in an earlier video, that did not end up being the case. So this year I've actually renamed my corporation to Nonsense-Free Editing LLC, and I file my editing income separately from my personal taxes. So for you writers and creative entrepreneurs, the question might be, should you incorporate? In my opinion, if you make more than, let's say, 10 grand a year in any genre, I would say yes. But if you write nonfiction, especially self-help and memoirs, I'd recommend incorporating even before you publish, before you make a cent. The main reason to incorporate is to create a division between your personal assets and your company assets. Like I mentioned in my memoir lawsuit video, it is very possible to get sued for a book that you write. If your book profits are part of your personal assets instead of a company's assets, then a plaintiff could conceivably go after your personal assets like your house. And if you're married and you file jointly with your spouse, they could go after your spouse's stuff too. And nobody wants to think about that. Another reason to do so is to save money, honestly. For businesses, you are not taxed on the total amount of money that you earn. You're only taxed on your profits. So let's say you make $30,000 in a year, but you spend $20,000 of those dollars on advertising, on contractor fees, and other deductible expenses. You will only be taxed on the $10,000 of profit you made in that year. Yeah. There are a number of ways to incorporate, and honestly, I recommend speaking to a CPA to decide which way is best for you, because once you incorporate, you can't change it. But you basically have 4 options: a sole proprietorship, a partnership, an S Corp, a C Corp, or the most common, a limited liability company or an LLC. Once you decide how to incorporate, you have to then decide how to file your business taxes. For instance, you can file a sole proprietorship, a partnership, an S Corp, just those, as a pass-through entity. Meaning that it's filed with your personal taxes, but as its own category. And if you choose to create an LLC, you can choose to file that LLC as an S Corp, as a C Corp, or as a pass-through entity. For me, I created an LLC and I file my business taxes as a C Corp. Each option has its own benefits and drawbacks, as well as their own requirements to file with your state's Secretary of State. Each state has different tax forms and requirements, which is another reason that working with a CPA, at least to initially incorporate, is highly advisable. I chose an LLC C Corp because the majority of my income comes from sales, as in the money that I earn from my editing services. Money that you as an author will make from your books will not be classified as sales. Those will be classified as royalties, which are taxed differently. As an author, it's very likely that you're going to have multiple streams of income as well. The money you earn from your books may be supplemented by speaking fees, for instance, or maybe that you're going to create a course like I intend to in the future. Regardless, it's important to keep track of which income comes from which source. Free programs like Wave can help you with this, as well as more famous paid programs like Quicken. I use Wave for my business expenses, and honestly, I've been very pleased with it. It has fewer features, obviously, than a program like Quicken, but it gets the job done, and there's no messy ads, and I've really enjoyed the experience. Finally, a hard-won word of caution when it comes to selecting your CPA. Check for reviews in more than one place. Hypothetically, if you hire a CPA off of Thumbtack, and he has great reviews, look other places as well for his actual name, because hypothetically, you might hire a CPA, pay him lots of money, and give him the passwords to your bank account, only for him to ghost you. And then you get worried and Google him because you genuinely are concerned that he has been injured or, God forbid, killed in an accident. But then you find out by doing that he has a history of just ghosting clients, hypothetically. Luckily, I did not lose any money. Nothing was stolen, and it ended up being more of an inconvenience than anything else. But it could have been a lot worse, so choose carefully when it comes to your money guy. Personal referrals are always the best, so if you know another small business owner, ask them. So that's all I have for this week. Are you looking to incorporate, or maybe you have already? Let me know below. So until next time, take care and write well.